Okay, so get this. We're diving into this whole de-extinction thing, bringing back extinct animals.
Wow.
Not dinosaurs, though, although
Yeah.
that'd be something else, right?
Right.
We're talking about creatures that were around, relatively recently,
Okay.
like the woolly mammoth.
Right.
And get this, we've got a ton of research articles, the whole shebang,
Wow.
all about how scientists think they can bring this Ice Age giant back, like within years.
Wow. It's like Jurassic Park stuff, but real.
Totally. And there's this company, Colossal Biosciences.
Okay.
They're not messing around.
Yeah.
They've got a plan, a timeline, the works. So that's why this deep dive is so interesting, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Where do they even start? I mean, how do you bring back something that's been gone for thousands of years?
Well, they got to find those well-preserved mammoth remains first.
Right.
Places like the Siberian permafrost, those frozen environments.
Yeah.
It's like a natural deep freezer for DNA.
Like a prehistoric time capsule.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Scientists, they get this ancient DNA.
Yeah.
They sequence it, put together the genetic blueprint of what made a woolly mammoth, well, a woolly mammoth.
Okay.
They're looking for the genes that cause those iconic traits,
Right, like the fur.
The shaggy fur coat, exactly.
Yeah.
And being able to live in those freezing temperatures.
So they've got the instructions, but how do they actually build a mammoth, like from scratch?
Well, and this is where it gets really cool. They're not trying to make an exact replica.
Okay.
It's more like a proxy.
Okay.
A hybrid.
Right.
With some mammoth-like traits.
Like a genetically modified elephant.
Exactly, because Asian elephants.
Right.
They're the closest living relatives to the woolly mammoth.
So they're basically tweaking the elephant DNA to give it some mammoth characteristics.
Yeah, think of it like...
But how? How do they even do that?
It's pretty high tech.
Yeah.
It's this thing called CRISPR.
Okay.
You can almost imagine it like a pair of molecular scissors.
Oh, wow.
That can cut and paste specific genes.
Really?
Yeah, and in this case, they'd be inserting mammoth genes into the DNA of Asian elephant cells.
So they make an embryo with this mixed DNA and then, implant it into a surrogate elephant mother?
Yeah, but it's not...
And then, bam, baby mammoth.
Well, not bam. The elephant gestation is like 2 years.
Oh, right, of course.
It's a long process, and really, that's just the start.
So theoretically, it could work.
Yeah, theoretically.
But should it? I mean, what are the pluses of bringing back the woolly mammoth?
Well, Colossal and some scientists think this could be huge in the fight against climate change.
Really?
Yeah, woolly mammoths, they were like ecosystem engineers.
Okay.
They're grazing. It helped keep these massive grasslands going in the Arctic.
And grasslands are important because...
It can actually suck up more carbon from the air than forests can.
Oh, wow.
So the thinking is, if we bring back these mammoth hybrids, we could help the Arctic tundra get back to how it used to be.
It's not just about having this cool animal back.
No.
It's about using its biology to maybe help with climate change.
Exactly. It's a fascinating idea.
Yeah.
There's a lot of debate on if it actually worked.
Right.
It's not as easy as just like dropping a bunch of mammoths in the Arctic and calling it a day.
Right, yeah.
There are a lot of what ifs.
Okay, so potential climate benefits, but are there downsides? Like, what should we be cautious about?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds great, right, in theory, but introducing a big animal, even one that used to be here, into an ecosystem, it could have a domino effect.
Because ecosystems are so complex.
Incredibly complex.
Right. You change one thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a delicate dance.
Right.
You throw in one new step, and the whole thing's off.
Yeah.
So think about the plants and animals in the Arctic right now.
Right.
Bringing in mammoths could completely mess up that balance.
In ways we can't even imagine.
Exactly. We can't even imagine it. Yeah.
Wow.
Like what happens to the other plant eaters?
Right.
Competing for food and all.
Yeah.
What if mammoths start going after plants that, like, other species need to survive?
Yeah. That's a good point. It's not just about, like, food, though, right? What about diseases?
Oh, for sure.
Like bringing in something that could make everything sick.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
These mammoth hybrids.
Yeah.
They could be carrying stuff that Arctic animals have never even seen before.
And then what? It's like a free-for-all?
Not much, yeah.
Without any natural immunity or anything?
Because, like, we're talking about messing with systems that have been doing their thing for, like, forever.
Right.
It'd be impossible to predict what would happen.
Completely.
Like trying to guess the weather a year out.
And then there's,
Cool factor.
The ethics of it all.
Yeah, totally.
Like, it's not just the environment, right?
No, not at all.
What about the mammoths themselves?
Exactly.
Are we being, like, unfair to them?
That's the question, isn't it?
Bringing them back to, I don't know.
Right, like, can they even make it in this world?
Yeah.
Or are we just setting them up to go extinct all over again?
Right, because they disappeared once.
Exactly.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah, climate change, humans, it all played a part.
And it's not like those things have gone away.
Nope, not at all.
It's kind of, I don't know.
It's a sticky situation.
It feels wrong somehow.
Yeah, it really makes you think about our role in all of this.
For sure.
Do we even have the right to be doing this?
Even if we can.
Right. And who gets to decide anyway?
Right. Like, why the mammoth?
Exactly. Why not something else?
Yeah. And what about the legal side of things?
Oh, right.
Like, say they make this mammoth-elephant hybrid.
Yeah.
Who owns it?
Yeah. Good question.
What are the rules?
Yeah, there's probably a ton of paperwork, huh?
A ton. Yeah. And honestly,
yeah,
the law is still trying to catch up to the science.
Wow. So it's like we're figuring it out as we go.
Pretty much.
So it's not even just, can we do this anymore?
Well,
it's, should we?
Exactly.
What happens if we do?
All of that, yeah. It's a lot.
It's a lot to unpack.
So much more than I thought.
Yeah, and it's not just about woolly mammoths either.
Oh, right. You said there are other animal scientists are thinking about bringing back...
Yeah, like the passenger pigeon.
The what? Passenger pigeon?
I've never even heard of that. They were these birds, so many of them.
Okay.
They're flocks. They would, like, block out the sun for days.
Get out.
I know, right?
That's insane.
But they were hunted to extinction.
No way, really?
Yeah, early 1900s.
Oh.
But scientists are, like, obsessed with them.
Why is that?
Because they were so important to how the forests in North America worked.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Like how?
They spread seeds around. They kept the bugs in check.
Wow.
Even had a hand in forest fires, believe it or not.
Forest fires, wow. So
Yeah.
bringing them back,
Yeah.
it could be good for those places then?
That's the hope.
But there's always a but.
There's always a but.
Right.
We got to think about those unintended consequences again.
Right, like with the mammoths.
Exactly.
So it's different for every animal.
Every single one.
And the stakes are so high.
The highest, yeah.
It's not like, having a zoo or something.
No, not at all.
We could be changing everything.
The whole natural world, yeah.
It's pretty crazy when you think about it.
It really is.
We're talking about, like, reversing extinction?
Yeah.
Makes you wonder what extinction even is anymore.
It really does make you question that whole idea.
Like, is it really the end?
Yeah. Is it permanent?
With stuff like CRISPR, it seems like.
Right. Right. With technology like that.
We're kind of changing things up.
We're rewriting the rules almost.
Yeah, because if we can do it with the passenger pigeon,
Right.
what's stopping us from bringing back, I don't know, the dodo?
The dodo, yeah.
The Tasmanian tiger? I mean, where's the line?
Right. Where do we stop?
And who gets to decide,
Exactly. And it's not just about picking and choosing which species get a comeback.
Right.
It brings up some weird stuff about, like, us in the natural world.
Like what?
Well, are we trying to fix our mistakes?
Okay.
Or are we just, showing off what we can do?
It's almost like playing God, isn't it?
It's a pretty hefty comparison.
But we're not all knowing, right?
Definitely not.
I mean, look at how we've messed things up already.
Because we've seen what happens when we jump in without thinking.
Yeah, so de-extinction, I don't know, it could be good.
It could be a really powerful tool.
But we can't just, YOLO it.
Oh, absolutely not.
We have to be super careful.
We need humility.
Yeah, and really think it through.
Think about everything.
So it's not an easy answer.
Nope.
It's about weighing the good and the bad.
All the what ifs.
The ethics of it all.
The ethics, definitely. Yeah. And honestly, we need to be having these conversations right now.
Not later, yeah.
Like right now, before things get too out of hand.
Yeah, get everyone involved.
Scientists, ethicists, policymakers.
Everyone.
The public, everyone.
Because it's not just a science thing anymore, is it?
No way. It's about our values.
What we think is right.
Exactly. Our responsibilities.
The world we want to leave behind.
That's what it comes down to.
This deep dive has been, I don't know, it's really made me think.
It's a lot to process.
So much to think about.
For sure.
To wrap things up, what's the one thing you hope people listening will, take away from all this?
I think the biggest takeaway, the question we all need to ask ourselves is not, can we bring back extinct animals? But should we?
That's a good one.
And if we do, how can we do it the right way?
Right.
Because, this could change the world as we know it.
No doubt.
But we got to be smart about it.
Yeah, approach it with caution.
Understand the science, be ethical, and respect the balance of nature.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for being here. This was awesome.
Glad to be here. It's been a really interesting conversation.
It really has.
A lot to consider.
This whole de-extinction thing, it's wild.
It's like something out of a movie, but it's real.
It really is, and it's happening now.
Right now.
That's it for this deep dive, everyone.
Until next time.
Keep those brains buzzing.
Keep learning.
And we'll see you on the next one.